Alright, hello and welcome. This is Final Fantasy, the first one, the classic, the original. It's a walkthrough, and we are going to be taking on the Fiend of Air. This is the last Fiend we will have to take on before the final boss. So, let's go ahead and get into it, and yeah, this is Chapter 8, Part 2. So, let's leave the town and get in our canoe and go ahead and head over to our airship. So the first place we're going to be heading is the Mirage Tower. As usual, if I run from a fight, I will just cut it out directly, and if I stay and fight, we'll just speed it up a little bit. And if there's a fight that you need to see, then we'll just leave that in real time. So the Mirage Tower is in the middle of this big desert right here. So we'll go ahead and land and travel up to the Mirage Tower. You have to watch out in the desert. There are some, a little more difficult monsters here. So don't worry about fighting them. The levels you're at this point, you really don't have to worry about fighting anything. Like, if you want to run the whole way, then run. You know, it's not gonna hurt anything. And as you'll see, I actually run from a lot of fights in this one, just because we're where we need to be really to finish out the game. You don't have to grind anymore. The grind is over. So when you get into the Mirage Tower, you're going to want to go in a kind of a counterclockwise motion. I'm not doing that here. Right now I'm trying to get these treasure chests. And go ahead and just, you can loot everything you see, because the monsters inside the tower, not really that big of a deal. So you can either run from them, fight them. It doesn't matter. They're not very tough, and it's worth it to just pick up the loot. I'm also cutting out some of the inventory shuffling I have to do just to be able to make enough room to get the new items. I figure nobody is going to be really interested in watching a blue inventory screen, so there is that. And this is where you need to do the, I think this is where, yeah, this is where we need to go the counterclockwise. And that takes us to those stairs right there. And we'll do the same thing again. Now there is some loot in this middle rooms here, so go ahead and take those. You can run into vampires here. Now, in the Earth Cave, they were, formidable, but here, with your levels now, you can just take them out pretty quickly. Good XP. Good money. You might want to hang out and fight them when they pop up. So there's the stairs that we are going to be taking. but we're gonna go ahead and loot some chests before we do that. And we got some more vampires. Might as well take them out. Alright, here we go. So lots of GP in the chest. And we got the Thor's hammer. Nice. And a sun sword. That will be the strongest weapon our knight has to this point. So, we probably want to equip that. And now we can go ahead and just head right back up to these stairs and move on to the next floor. And believe it or not, we are almost done with the Mirage Tower already. So it doesn't take too long. Going in here, here's a blue dragon. You need to fight it. It will ambush you, but it's not bad at all. And then go ahead and step on that plate in the middle, or the thing up here. You'll see. There we go. So now we are in the floating castle. Once again, go ahead and just loot everything you can. There are, a lot of random encounters, but honestly, just run from them because they're not particularly impressive with their experience or their GP, or their gold. I'm getting my games mixed up here. So there's no real use in fighting them and wasting, your time and materials. So just keep on moving, loot everything, and go on to the next. Now, if you do choose to fight the stuff, the only things to be, extra cautious of is there are a lot of Medusas. They can turn you to stone, you know that, and Manticores, they have a stinger ability and can poison you. So neither one of those are very fun. And that will take us to the next floor, although I don't want to go there yet because we still have some more stuff that we can loot. So let's go ahead and do that now. We'll go ahead and pick that up. That Bane sword, it's a niche kind of weapon. It's not any stronger than the stuff you already have. I want to say it's effective against creatures, like werewolves and stuff, but don't really need to worry about it. And just keep cruising around and looting. With some opal gauntlets. Which I'm not going to worry about right now because I have other things equipped. Silver helmet there and some gold. So nothing too exciting. Some more gold. And some more gold. We're gonna be rich! And we'll go ahead and just poke this eye in the eye. Huh. Oh, these things aren't difficult. I think they can cast dark on you. Or I mean, they can give you dark. I don't know what they cast, but no big deal. And here we go. There is some adamant. You will need that to take to the dwarves after this, and they are going to make us Excalibur. So that is a really good sword, and I think it's the second best sword in the game, I want to say. And it may be the best one that your knight can wield. So definitely want to make sure you pick up that adamant. That is important. And these chests right here, you're getting the white robes and the black robes. Those are the best armor for your white and your black wizard. So now this floor is kind of spread out a little bit, and you can stop here and talk to the window. I can't think of anything that you know you absolutely can't live without. But I'm gonna go ahead and loot everything anyway, just because, well, might as well. Except that you have such limited inventory space, so I'm getting really kind of tired of dropping stuff and trying to make room. Especially when some of my characters are geared up to where I really like where they're at, so I don't want to mess with it too much. And you can just follow this windy path around, all the while just, you know, running from the encounters. Because the air fiend at the end of this part, he's actually the toughest fiend you faced, and he takes a minute. So you want to make sure you save your magic, your white wizard for sure. She needs all of her cure spells and all of that. So that's another reason you might just want to run from these random fights. And there's nothing in here, really. It just, yeah, I don't know what this is. Decoration, I guess. And we're almost done on this floor. Just about. So we'll check this little place out, and then we'll hit those stairs just south of us. Oh, and that's the katana. That is a great weapon for your ninja. So it's going to be the best until you get to the most powerful sword in the game, I think, which is the Mezume? I don't know. It's the whole reason you deal with a thief all the way through the game, is so you can have that weapon at the very end. It's only right that the ninja should have a katana, right? Alright, you're getting close. This is the next to last floor. Just go ahead and go east, like 2 intersections, and then go straight south. Otherwise, you will just go in circles. Just this whole thing will repeat itself over and over and over and over and over. So, to the right, and then down. Alright, now we're on the bridge. Go ahead and prepare yourself, because once we are off this bridge, we are going to be facing the air fiend. And it's a substantial fight. It takes a minute to take it down. It must have quite a bit of health. Don't really need anything fancy. Just use your white wizard to, buff and cure and heal, and use your strongest black magics while just beating on it with your knight, your ninja, or master, whichever ones you have. Now there is a small chance that while on this bridge you could run into a random encounter with something called a war machine. War machine is like an optional boss. It would be the hardest thing there is to fight in this game. It's kind of like weapon in Final Fantasy VII. It's just, yeah, it's one of those things. And here we are. So like I said, go ahead and buff as much as you can with your white wizard, and use your most powerful magics with your black wizard, and just hit it with your other two. And then once you have killed this, we're just going to basically light the orb, and that'll be it. We're ready for our final showdown, where we will be going back to the Temple of Fiends, and then going back in time to take on Chaos. So that'll be interesting. Now beforehand, of course, you'll stop by the dwarves and give one of them the adamant, and they'll make you Excalibur. And there are some other optional dungeons you can do if you would like to. Myself, I'm not going to, because I'm ready to finish out the series, and there's really nothing there that we need that we don't already have. And this can be quite a long fight compared to the other bosses you've fought so far. I'm never really in danger here. The only person that ever gets a little low is the ninja, but just want to keep healing and keep hitting it. And we are starting to get close. About got it, I think. But it does have a lot of health, apparently. Also, in case you don't know this, and this isn't necessarily applicable in this fight, but the items that cast spells, like your heal helmet, heal staff, things like that, your black mage has the highest intelligence of all the classes, and actually makes that most effective. So if you need to cast, or if you need to use an item, make sure that you know, your mage can do that, or your wizard can do that, because you will get a little bit more bang for your buck. And like I said, he does have quite a bit of health. And this is the point. I should have done this right from the beginning, but I've been casting fast on the fighters, using the Black Mage cast fast. That helps a ton, and I just didn't think to do it when I should have. Just hit it with as much as I can. We are getting some good crits, so that's always a good thing. Go ahead and heal up here. Everybody's pretty good. The ninja could definitely use some help. And there we go. That's it. We got him. So it's gonna pretty much wrap it up. We'll go ahead and light this orb and go back to our airship. But otherwise, that is it. And so the next episode will be the end of this series. We will be taking on Chaos, going back in time, and that will be Chapter 9. Alright.